Hello everybody, welcome to part 3 of game developing with Python and Pygame. Last video we create a variable all objects, which is a container class, object from container class, Pygame sprite group. Pygame sprite group have a lot of good abilities for game developing. We can, as I said, we can copy, we can delete, we can kill the sprites, and we can make collisions and a lot of things. It makes the coding much more easier. And we created two class ball and class player. But so far both of our classes only have one init method. Then I'm going to continue developing class player, and before that let me show you so far what we have, so I can explain what I'm going to do. Okay. Okay. A class player is represented by this blue rectangle down on the screen. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to teach you how to move your objects on the screen. Alright, let's create another method on class player. Fine, update self. If you don't know what is method is kinda same as function, but take it as a function inside a class, almost, but you call it within a class, or so it's kind of function. Now for moving objects in Python, we need to have access to keyboard or mouse or input event. You remember we have here, we are checking for events here. One way is to write all your movement inside the while loop, but the better way is you create the update method or any method inside the class, and after call that method from your while loop, so the code will looks like a little bit more cleaner. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create key pressed equal pygame dot key dot get pressed. Now it's we are creating this variable, and it's equal to this method of Pygame, which is actually kind of listening to keyboard, which keyboard going to be pressed. Now if key pressed Pygame dot key capital K left, everything capital, then then do something. Okay, now what I forgot to write is, before we can move our object, we need to write a couple of more attributes in our class. The first attribute is self dot x speed equal 0, self dot x stop equal 0, and there is a couple of ways we can do it. I will show you two of them. Self dot left equal -4, and self dot actually let me write it this way, left speed equal -4, and self dot right speed equal 4. Now Okay, if key pressed pygame dot key left. Now we can continue. I mean, if the key pressed here is Pygame left arrow key, then self.x speed equal self.left speed. Okay, and at the end we say self.rect.x plus equal self.x speed. Okay, Control S, and let me show you what's going to happen now if everything works great. You see, now we can move the object to the left. So how this works? Here we created a method. In the method we are listening to key presses by creating a variable key pressed and setting to Pygame key get pressed. So actually Pygame is waiting for one or any key to be pressed, and after it's up to you to how to redirect that press as an input. And after we write if the left key arrow key press self.x speed, which is here, means x speed, take it like horizontal speed, for example, because our object just move in horizontal direction, left and right, and will be as self.left speed, which is -4. And after, at the end of the update, we say okay, self.rect.x with the position of the x plus equals self.x speed. But because x speed is -4, every time we press the left arrow key, it will keep continue to regenerate the position of the object, so the object will slide to the left and we can't stop it. It will go out of the screen. Now we can do the opposite. If key pressed Pygame dot key right okay self.x speed equal self dot right speed. Now we don't have to do anything anymore. Now how our function being called? The beautiful thing here, we don't have to call the update method directly from our while loop or main game loop, because we already add our player instance inside all objects, and we are updating the all objects here anyway, so every update related to players also get updated. So we are calling it from our container class here. Okay, let me show you now what we have. Now we can go both sides, left, right, left, right. But what if we want to stop? Because now if you just touch the left arrow key, it will go all the way left, and when you touch right arrow key, it will go all the way right. Then I am going to write another if statement. One more time, it was out of the screen. Okay, so yep. Now I'm going to write another if statement. Okay, elif key press. Oh, if you hear that sound, it's my dog drinking water. Key pressed Pygame dot key down. Okay, okay. Then self.x speed equal self.x stop, which is 0 here. We could also do it just only by number, like self.x speed equals 0 or self.x speed equal -4 or 4. But imagine during the game you want to increase the speed or decrease the speed, and you have to come through all the way this when the game is getting bigger, and you have to do it manually. But when you have it like attribute, you just write another function or if a statement somewhere. It depends on your skills and your style and how you want to design your program and control the speed of game or any kind of functionality of any kind of program. So now let's see what we have. Now when we press down arrow key, we stop. Just very easy. Okay, but another thing we need to take care of are the barriers on the right and the left side. How we can write the code that stop the player from going out of the screen. Again, I forgot to bring it in on recorder. Okay, how we can write it? It's very easy. We need to have two more or one more if statements. In bottom of and lower than self.rect.x plus equals self.x speed, we write if self.rect.left smaller than 0, then self.rect.left equal 0. Now you will see what I mean. Okay, now it doesn't matter, you can't go out of the barrier here because now I need to explain how the screen coordinate works in Pygame. It's different than Turtle. In Turtle, I think they are using something called Cartesian board, which you have the 0 0 at the middle of exactly at the center of the screen. So right and up is positive number and down and left is negative number. But in Pygame we are using screen coordinates, which is 0 0 at top left corner, and when we go up down to the right the numbers are increasing. So x and y is on top left corner in Pygame, but in Turtle x and y 0 0 is exactly on center of the screen. And sometimes we need to convert Cartesian coordinates to screen coordinates, and I might have another tutorial for that. It's kind of very short tutorial. So let's fix another side too. Then another one will be and elif self.rect.right greater than width, which is width of the screen. Then self.rect.right equal width. Okay, now we have movement and we have barriers. It's kind of okay actually, but we can't make it. I keep forgetting this. I have to bring it. Everything looks okay, but we can also try to improve it a little bit more. So let's come up here and just say remove these two, self.left speed and self.right speed, and we say self.speed equal 4. Okay, and here instead self.x speed equals self.left speed, we say self.x speed underscore speed equals self.speed multiply -1. Okay, and here when we go to the right, just say self.speed without anything. What we are doing here, we are just changing the positive number to negative number, so everything will be the same, but instead of 2 attributes we will have only 1 attribute, and everything is the same. Okay, what else? Other thing that we can also make it shorter, it's not necessary, but I can also show you how it can be done. Let's say, for example, instead of these 2 lines, we can say if self.rect.left smaller than 0 or self.rect.right greater than v, then self.speed self.x speed x speed equal self.x stop. Okay, now still we have the same result, so it's kind of depends on you know, there are many ways to write same program, many form of programming. You can write same program, for example, just by functions. Someone can write it by classes, someone just can write it like plain different kind of programming system or styles. I don't know how to call it. It really doesn't matter. For example, you can have main function and you can create other function inside the main function and after call them inside the main function, or call the main function after, or you can have different function out of the main function and you just call them in the main function. And the same goes with classes. You can create one game with only one class or 2 classes, or it just depends on how you like to program. And it's good to just try different ways and you will see which one is more effective. Okay, so far we could create the update method for class ball, and here we have some attributes, attributes, and attributes. No, it's not. I don't like the attributes. What you can call it. Anyway, attributes. So for now I think it's so attributes which is related just to object itself. We are dealing with them for creating the game, and this part is kind of logic of game, but it's just simple bunch of simple if statements, that's all. So we have some attributes here, we have our update method here, and because we already add the object in our Pygame sprite group, which is container class, and we already calling the update method for container class inside our while loop, then we don't need to update it directly anywhere. So that would be all, I think, for this video. Thanks for watching, and see you in next video.